Thank you all for having me. This is going to be a lot of fun, I hope. No pressure at all with mentioning the fact that I have humorist listed on my resume. What I want to do today is, we're going to focus on human motivation and understanding human motivation. And so what I wanted to do is I'm going to actually start off with a little exercise. Since it's after lunch, I want to make sure you're awake. And don't worry if people get in front of the camera if we do this, but I'd like everybody to stand up and partner up, please. Please stand up and find a partner. I want you to decide between you, and you on the phone there, I know you're not here and can't actually see what's going on, but you can do this too. Get somebody nearby you and partner up with them. And what I want you to do is you each decide, and I don't care how you do this, one of you will be partner A, and one of you will be partner B. And you go ahead and decide who that's going to be and all that. So if you all decided now that we have everybody have a partner. All right. Partner A, raise your hand. All right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to make a fist. All right. Now, when I say go, partner B, I want you to open partner A's fist. Ready? Go. Stop. Let's have some fair play. Turn this around, right? Partner B, you make a fist. And when I say go, partner A, you try to open partner B's fist. Ready? Go. Alright, stop. Cracking knuckles, somebody yelling out. Wow. Violent. Okay, who was successful? Was anybody successful at opening their partner's fist?
Duh.
You were? Yes. You both were. How did you do it? You just opened it. She wasn't resisting. Okay. Sir, you raised your hand. How did you succeed?
Squeeze your hand.
Brute force, right? Who else was successful? How did you do? Distraction! This is great. Well, let me ask you something. Did anybody ever think to simply ask them to open their hands?
But she told me no.
But at least you tried.
I did.
The rest of us, what went wrong? So what went wrong here is, I said the word a zillion times, I said partner. And as soon as I said go, you became opponents. You tried to motivate your partner to do what you wanted them to do. But you didn't necessarily communicate to them what it is you wanted. You just reached out and grabbed their hands, started wrenching their fingers, cracking their knuckles, tickling them, stepping on their feet. I've had all kinds of stuff happen to these things. But you can't force somebody to be motivated. First of all, you need to communicate what it is that you're trying to do and come up with some kind of mutual agreement. You said that you did reach out and say, would you open your hand?
I even said please.
You even said please. And you said no. Why did you say no?
I just didn't want to open my hand.
So, what was the difference between, what is your name in the blue shirt?
Rita.
Rita, and you are?
Cynthia.
Cynthia, okay. So, Rita, what do you think the difference was between your motivation and Cynthia's?
I think Cynthia had a clear understanding that it was in her best interest to keep her fist tightly closed.
And did you try to communicate to her how it would be in her best interest to open her fist?
I would have if I'd had just a couple more seconds.
Well, the idea is that you can't force somebody else to be motivated. You cannot motivate other people. And neither can I. And I know that's really bizarre to hear coming from a motivational speaker to say, I can't motivate people. But it's true. There are three basics to motivation. I'll explain what they are. The first one is, you can't motivate people. Because motivation comes from within an individual. It's a very personal thing. And the way people decide what they're going to do, what they're not going to do, what they're going to accept is a very personal thing. You cannot force that on someone. The second basic rule of motivation is that all people are motivated. And I know some of you are thinking of some of your staff. It may not seem to be quite so motivated. I see somebody looking around at other people going, I don't know about that guy being so motivated. But I will guarantee you everybody's motivated. They're just not necessarily motivated to do what you want them to do. And then the third basic is that people do things for their own reasons and not for yours. So to kind of illustrate this a little bit, I'm going to show you how different people really can be. Mike, what kind of music do you prefer?
Well, eclectic, because my preference would be soul.
Soul. But you like a little bit of everything.
Everything.
Sir, how about you?
Probably punk rock.
Punk rock. Would you have imagined that?
No.
He's a headbanger over here. I love it. Rita, how about you?
Country and Western.
Country and Western?
Yes, I grew up on it.
I love it. How about you?
Jazz.
Jazz. I'm a jazz and blues guy myself. We all like different kinds of music. But I'll tell you right now, we all listen to the same radio station. It's a very eclectic radio station, and everything plays through it. It is WIIFM. You have to say that in a radio voice. WIIFM.
What's in it for me?
What's in it for me? Exactly.
I was Miles saying.
And there's a true leader right there. She gives the credit where it came from. I love it. Yes, that's exactly what it is. It stands for what's in it for me. And that's what we do. Everything we do, we filter through this radio station. And we are deciding what we're going to listen to. WIIFM, all me, all the time, only the hits. You're doing that to me right now. You're sitting here going, what does this fat Italian guy standing up in the front of the room have to say that's of any value to me? And you're making that value judgment to try to determine if there's anything for you here. And you do this to your boss, and you do this to your kids, and you do this to everybody. Everything you're listening to, all the commercials that are being thrown at you and through the media, all these things, you are filtering through WIIF. Everybody has a different way of filtering out information, and they're trying to pick out what it is that's important to them. Now, you try to figure out, what does this now mean if people are so different? What does this mean when you're trying to motivate your staff to excel in customer service? When you're trying to get people to show up to work on time? When you're trying to motivate people to do their training plans? Or trying to motivate your kid to clean up their room? Or to call you and let you know where they are? Or not to date that guy who's wearing his pants down below his butt? Whatever it is you're trying to motivate people to do, what chance do you possibly have? The idea is to understand where they're coming from and what's important to them. Now, I was giving a training session to frontline supervisors a number of years ago, and this one guy was sitting there kind of in the middle of the room, and he just stood up all indignant and said, "It is not my job to motivate my employees. We give them a paycheck for that." How many of you are motivated entirely by your paycheck? I didn't see a single hand come up. So I looked at this guy. Now here he was a supervisor for blue-collar tradesmen working for government. He was a master plumber, a master electrician, and a master carpenter. He was the triple threat. This guy could do pretty much anything with a wrench, a hammer, or a saw. He could make a lot of money on the outside. And I asked him, I said, what are you making here? First of all, how long have you been in government? He said, 35 years. So you've been working in government for 35 years, and what's your hourly wage come out to be? And I don't remember what pay grade it was and how it worked out. But I said, how much could you make on the outside? An hourly rate wage with your talents. Oh, I could make 10 times as much money. Then why aren't you doing it? Why are you here? Well, I like what I'm doing, I like the people I'm working with, I like the environment, I like the fact that I'm working for the Navy. This guy was a Navy carpenter. I like the fact that I'm giving back to the country by helping the troops, by keeping their facilities running. I said, so money wasn't any part of this? He said, no. I said, then why do you think your employees are motivated by that paycheck? It was an eye-opener. So many times we make an assumption on what's going to motivate other people. we need to find out what those motivations are. It's not always the same thing. But we have to, part of life and part of our ability to get through life, and even in helping us to motivate other people, is being able to laugh with them. And so laughter is a big part of this. If we can laugh with each other, not at each other. Not laughing at you, I'm laughing near you. If we can laugh with each other, if we can laugh at ourselves, that helps to make life just that much better. And if people can see that in you, that you don't take yourself oh so seriously, and that you're able to communicate with them and work with them on whatever level they want to work on, and that you understand where they're coming from, that you understand that their motivations are different than yours, but it's okay, people will be more willing to listen to you and give you that opportunity to state your case. Now, I have to tell you a story about having to laugh at yourself, just because this story still cracks me up. So I'm on a long flight, going from LA back to DC, or one direction or the other. And I'm sitting in an aisle seat, and this stunningly beautiful woman comes on the plane. And she's coming down the aisle, and I'm thinking, oh. And I'm married and everything, but you know, nice if she sat next to me. Gorgeous woman of Indian heritage. She comes in, she winds up sitting in the aisle seat, right in my row. Nobody gets in the middle. Automatic conversation starter. Boy, we lucked out, we got some elbow room, right? And you start talking. So we're just chatting. And she was about 30 years old, she was born and raised in Bali. She was, like I said, of Indian heritage. Her family is trying to force her into getting married. So they're setting her up on dates. And her father's gone so far as to set her up with a guy he even suspected of being gay. So she shows up for this date, and the guy goes, "Oh, hi!" So they had a nice dinner and, you know, laughed about it and stuff, and she went back home. And before you know, asking anything else, the father says, "He was gay, wasn't he?" She goes, "Yes! How do you expect to have grandchildren if you're doing this to me?" And I looked at her and I said, "Look, I have to ask this question. Is it because of your culture that your father has to match you up with somebody that you're going through this?" And she says, "Oh no, I'm allowed to find my own person." I said, "Oh." I said, "Well, I have to say, you're really stunning. I'm surprised. You know, they're not knocking your doors down." She goes, "Oh no, you don't understand. I'm really very shy. I won't talk to men." Well, you've been sitting here talking to me for about 4.5 hours. And she goes, "Yeah, but if you were some young, good-looking guy I was interested in, never be able to talk to you." So what's the first thing I did when we landed? I called my wife and told her the whole story. She goes, "That's my hubby." Sometimes we don't want to be known as safe. We want to be a little bit dangerous. Not that we were going to carry out anything, but it's nice to be thought of as just a little bit of a threat. But you have to, I mean, some people would have been devastated. She was devastated when she realized what she said. She goes, "Oh no, I didn't mean it like that." And I loved it. I said, "I want to tell that story forever." So anyway, that's what I wanted to impress upon you. You want to be able to laugh at yourself. You want to be able to laugh with other people. If you really want to motivate people, what you need to do is tune into their WIIFM and plant the seeds for them, create the environment that makes it attractive for them to take the actions that you really wanted them to do in the first place. But it's got to be their decision. One thing I want to ask you to do when you leave this and any of your other leadership group meetings that you have is to remember one thing. I don't care what it is. Just remember something. Take some piece of what you learned, keep it and make it part of yourself.